quick story before we start on today's idea, okay? Back in September 2003, when I was first pregnant with my son Dan, I actually took over a small Kumon centre in Kensington in London. And at the time, we had about 120 students, okay? Now, over the next 6 months, I had a big bulging belly. I actually grew that to about 300 students. And I held it at that level for years, right until I sold the business in 2010 when I moved here to Fuerteventura. 2 years later, I actually started investing in UK property, okay? And that was about 2 years after Dan had been born. And by 2008, I'd built £1 million portfolio, more or less, okay? And that was also including 3 houses of multiple occupation, HMOs, they call it. But here's the thing I want to share with you today. I wasn't following complicated strategies. That was one of the things. I was actually just paying attention to people's patterns and doing the obvious things when they were needed to be done. Okay, that's what I felt were obvious anyway. So I want to share with you an idea today that I thought about when I reflected upon all of this. When people say to me, Tina, how did you get to retire before you were 40? This is the principle I'd actually lived by without even knowing at the time. Data is everywhere, but it only matters if it actually leads to action, okay? So if you're going to do something differently based upon what you see from your data, then you're just wasting your time. You're looking for no reason, okay? Now, at the Kumon Centre every single week, I received results from every single student's worksheets, and I had 300 and they did one piece of work every single day. But that information actually told me what was happening for them individually. And I always checked people's results because I genuinely cared about each student getting, as fast along as they could, okay? And the patterns made it easy. Over time, I just got to know how each different student learned and how they struggled, where they typically trip up. But because people are people, the unexpected sometimes happen too. And that's why I didn't just follow a template blindly like other instructors tended to do. I actually always checked the results, the data. And I also noticed when patterns break. And then I'd adjust what that student really needed that week just based on the data. Okay? Now, as a result of this is the important part, and you'll find the same for your own clients, okay, with your business. My students just kept moving forward at their own pace, okay, instead of hitting walls and then giving up like I'd seen elsewhere, okay. The funny thing is, though, this is what I wanted to share mainly, because my students kept progressing so well and they were happy, I actually never had to advertise for my Kumon Centre. Word just got out naturally, even though I was in the middle of London and it wasn't from London. And every month I had people coming to me wanting to join my classes. And that's how I kept my classes full at 300 students without having to chase, advertise or sell at all. Okay? Now, here's the key, here's the simple truth. If you've got the right data and you know how to use it to make the right decision so you can actually take the action, then you get the outcome you're looking for. If you've got no action attached to your data at all, it just doesn't help anybody. It's just noise, and you're actually wasting your time and energy, okay? So here's your move for today. Before you go checking any data, whatever it is, just ask yourself, am I ready to do something if this needs changing, if something needs changing? If you have that, go check it, okay? If not, if it's just collecting numbers or graphs or whatever, just stop. You're wasting your time, okay? What you want to do is you want to focus on serving your customers, building your business based on how they are going through whatever it is you're doing, and then growing from that, okay? Action beats obsession on numbers every single time, okay? So again, if the data doesn't actually lead to anything that's actionable, just go do something else. Go and see how you can help your clients, okay? Now, the other thing is you want to think to yourself, am I ready to act? If you're not, no point in checking your data, okay? Just think about that. So many people waste so much time looking at numbers, and all they do is get stressed out and they don't get anywhere at all. So if you want to grow your business or you want to maintain your business, this is the strategy that I live by. I check the only data that actually means something to me, which would be something that actually helps me to understand, do I need to change anything right now, okay, to improve my output.